On the way we opened up the program, we're focusing in on Steve Biko. And the question that we are posing to this morning is, as we commemorate 41 years since the death of Steve Biko, which of his teachings still remains relevant for you? Do you even know his teachings? I mean, I know many of you sort of thinking, Leanne, how can you even ask that? But you do. You have to ask these things. I mean, some people take it for granted that people know all of these things about some of our late great leaders, but do we honestly? And that's the question we're asking you. And if you do, then write to us. What is that teaching? And we'll share it with the rest of South Africa, because there are some beautiful teachings. It really is, especially if you've read I Write What I Like. That is a fantastic book that was unfortunately only published posthumously. So yeah, something that I think most South Africans, or all South Africans, should read. Okay, let's take a look now to the big stories of the day and what to look out for on this Wednesday morning. First up, NSFAS and the Department of Higher Education and Training will update the Higher Education Portfolio Committee on payment of allowances that is due to students. And Deputy President David Mabuza takes oral questions in the National Assembly. And the Standing Committee on Finance will receive feedback from a variety of stakeholders on the VAT panel report. Some trending, still looking at some more of the on this. Okay, so we've got today marking 41 years since the brutal killing of Black Consciousness Movement leader Steve Biko in police custody. And Stats SA expected to release the retail trade sale numbers for July. And a memorial service in honour of the 3 firefighters who died battling a blaze at the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD will be held today. Okay, time for your trending topics now this morning, and we have a look at crime stats. Of course, those are the big talking points this morning. The massive increase in crime stats, and it is just absolutely devastating to hear the figures coming out. And to be honest with you, there is not that wasn't a good feel-good press conference at all. And the reality is that our police minister also saying that it's like living in a war zone. But what are we going to do about it? And that's the reality. 57 people killed every single day here in South Africa. As you kiss your loved ones goodbye or hug them goodbye, you don't know if you're ever going to see them again, not because of natural circumstances, but because of murder. And that's not the way we need to live. So we need to talk about that and continue to monitor the situation. Cyril Ramaphosa, he was of course in the National Assembly yesterday, fielding lots of questions, and that was why he is trending. Ace Magashule. What an interesting interview was held yesterday afternoon, and this all on the back of weekend reports about the possibility of a big coup happening, and he is denying it, saying that there is absolutely nothing in place for him and former President Jacob Zuma, because they were meeting, and it's still something that he is denying, that they are trying to do anything to get rid of current President Cyril Ramaphosa. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We have a political analyst who'll come and talk a little bit more about that interview that was held yesterday. 9/11 remembrance, can you believe it? I mean, where were you the day the planes flew into the building? I mean, that was on September the 11th, 2001. And of course, as we come into a new day, it was yesterday that Americans and the world actually remembered the people who lost their lives, and remembered the horror of watching what was happening and listening to stories, watching documentaries, and remembering the day that the world changed, because it certainly did, on September the 11th, 2001. And that was the day that the World Trade Centers collapsed, and the planes flew into them, and of course into the Pentagon as well. So that was why that is trending. Kaizer Chiefs and Tandani Nchumayelo. So here is where I bring Valen into the equation, because she's actually come into studio to talk to us about these trending topics. Vay, good morning to you. But I mean, talk to me about what's going on here.
Good morning, Leanne, and good morning to our viewers. Yes, so why is Kaizer Chiefs trending? Well, the PSL Disciplinary Committee released their findings following the DC's sitting. You'll remember that violence that we saw during the Nedbank Cup semi-final Kaizer Chiefs up against Free State Stars. Kaizer Chiefs are losing that match, and then there were some horrific scenes from the Moses Mabhida Stadium. That was due to sit before a disciplinary committee. It has sat before that disciplinary committee, and the outcome was given yesterday, which is why social media blew up with the hashtag Kaizer Chiefs, because the PSLDC decided that Chiefs have to play 3 matches behind closed doors, one of which is suspended. Specifically, however, these matches have to be played in KZN, because they say that this incident happened in KZN and they want the spectators in KZN to actually understand the gravity of what happened during that incident at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. So it's them that will feel the heat when it comes to the bans for Kaizer Chiefs. 2 matches and then 1 suspended. Kaizer Chiefs, the football club, they say they are busy studying the decision of the disciplinary committee. The other trending topic that you had there was hashtag Tindani and Chumayelo, and this was trending because the former Orlando Pirates midfielder in 2016 was given a 4-year ban for using cocaine. He tested positive for the use of cocaine, and after 2 years he could appeal. That was in July. He could appeal to the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport that ban actually get reduced, and it was successfully reduced to 2 years, so he is available to play immediately. He did post something on social media saying that he would like to thank those that have supported him, apologize once again to the chairman of his former club, Dr. Ivan Khoza, and also to say he has learned from his mistakes and he certainly won't let anything like that happen. So Bibo is back and he is available to play football, but who will sign him now? We'll just have to wait and see. Leanne?
Thanks so much. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes' time for the sports news, but those are your trending topics this morning. Let's get you a traffic update. Rob Byrne, good morning to you.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. Good morning to you. Good morning, South Africa. Well, very important day today for the city of Joburg and EMS services as they remember fallen colleagues. Today is the memorial service for the firefighters that lost their lives gallantly fighting that fire in the building last week, that building fire in Joburg. So there will be a wreath-laying ceremony around that building scene. That'll happen today. It'll close roads between 9:30 this morning and 11. Routes like Commissioner Street and Temi Paliso and Albertina Sisulu roads. They're the roads that will be closed. And of course, our thoughts are with them. And I got this tweet this morning from Kotso saying, to the brave men whose lives perish while performing their duties to try and save fellow SA citizens, we're thinking of you and your families, and may your souls rest in peace. And we all echo those thoughts as those events and proceedings get underway a little bit later today. Talking about driving into Joburg, this is what causes a lot of disruption after 9 o'clock, after you've got the rush hour traffic in. City of Joburg are doing some repair works at the Crown interchange and through the double decker. It takes the Mike 1 down to a single lane, and you can see it coming in from Boyson's for plus 20, 25 minutes. At times it can be a 30-minute delay, so just be aware of that. If you've got to get in or through central Joburg and you're coming in from the south, up from sort of Uncle Charlie's off the N12 up through Ormonde and Boyson's, that's what awaits you between sort of 9 and 2 in the afternoon. So, you know, look at routes like Klip River and Sour if you've got to get into the CBD, Klip River and Boyson's to avoid that, or maybe the Nasrec Road and Main Reef Road becomes an option as well. Also, we're almost mid-month, and I thought, you know, we really need to be sharing this with you. This is pretty desperate, isn't it? This is the fuel price change that it's the daily estimate based at today, September the 12th. That's where we're going with petrol, up around 11 cents, around 12 if you're petrol 95. Diesel, look at that, around 37 up. That's based on the dollar conversion and the price of oil as it currently stands today. If nothing changes, that's going to be pretty close to the increase at the pumps as we head into October. So, you know, just like to keep you informed and show you where we're going with the price of fuel as we head through this month. All right, that's the latest look at traffic and travel around the country. Let's get